What's up, everybody? Welcome back inside the State Champs Sports Network studio for a very special presentation, a show we did not think we would be doing this fall, but here we are. Welcome back, high school football. Welcome back. This is the Michigan High School Football Preview. My name is Lauren Plant. This program is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Okay, we are going to cover 7 corners of the state in this program, so you're going to get a lot of great information. We're not going to touch on everything, so don't get upset if you don't hear about your favorite conference or team, but this is going to give you a good idea about what we can expect as we head into what should be a very unique football season. Let's not waste any more time. Let's begin on the west side of the state.
As we get set to start the 2020 high school football season in West Michigan, the storylines surround division realignment in the OK Conference. And it starts with the OK Green as Zeeland East and Zeeland West remain. Muskegon and Mona Shores come in from the old OK Black, and we expect to have some really good battles with 4 really good programs.
So the quality of, this isn't a week you really can take off anymore. It's upped our game, and we've got to, which is good because then it's not hard to get kids up for games. You know what I mean? Hey, we got quality opponents.
In the OK White, we have East Grand Rapids and Grand Rapids Christian coming back in where they played many years, but you have Forest Hill Central and Lowell staying. Also, Byron Center from the old OK Green comes in. The Bulldogs return a bunch of guys from a team that went 9-0 last year in the regular season, led by linebacker Austin Roan, who's committed to Syracuse.
I mean, we just hold ourselves to the same standard, treat it the same way. I mean, we got a lot of the same dudes coming back, a lot of dudes that can fill the spots that we're missing, and I definitely think we can produce better, if not the same season last year.
The team that won the last 2 OK White titles, Cedar Springs, is now in the OK Gold, where Grand Rapids Catholic Central, the defending state champs, come in from the OK Blue.
If we keep grinding, I think we could be better and stronger than we were last year. It's all mentality with us, with this team, so we're going to push through that and have a great season this year.
The OK Red stays pretty much the same. It just adds one in Jenison. Rockford, for the first time in 28 years, has a new head coach. Brent Cummings, longtime assistant, takes over for legendary Ralph Munger.
To be surrounded by these, our coordinators, our assistant coaches, to see the energy that they're leading these kids with is just phenomenal. The sense of energy that we get from the kids under their leadership is just fun to watch.
In the OK Blue, we find another really good program from the former OK Green. That's Unity Christian. The Satyrs won the state championship in 2018. They've won 3 state regional titles. They've never won a conference title in program history. Maybe this year in the Blue could be the year to do it.
We're excited, playing a lot of new teams that we haven't seen before, but I think we're going to do really good.
Portage Northern in the Southwestern Michigan Athletic Conference had the best year in program history last year. Now, they lost several guys to the college level, but they do return Northwestern commit running back Anthony Tyus. He is tough. And Schoolcraft, the Eagles, did lose an outstanding running back in Kobe Clark, but they return a 3-year varsity quarterback in Alex Stoll, who recently committed to Grand Valley State, and he's got some outstanding wide receivers led by Harmon DeVries and Jimmy Downs. As we get set to start the season this Friday night, we got lots of great rivalry matchups in the West Michigan area. How about East Grand Rapids and Lowell? Great history there. They'll start things off in the OK White. Defending state champ Mona Shores is at Reese Puffer. That's a big rivalry. Should be a lot of fun as well. And a non-divisional game in the Southwestern Athletic Conference, Constantine at Schoolcraft. Should be a great way to start the high school football season in West Michigan.
I'm Greg Molson, getting ready for the upcoming high school football season in the Flint area, and nowhere is there more excitement for the season than right here in Davison. The Cardinals are coming off their first ever state championship, and here's a warning to the rest of Division I. They believe they can be even better this year.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if we just put it all together with the returners and stuff, we can always add more stuff to offense, add more stuff to defense, knowing that our coaches believe in us and that we all believe in each other. We're really confident we can go back to that.
Do we have the opportunity and talent to be better? Absolutely. You know, we were very young last year. We had 5 brand new offensive linemen. We had a first-year starting quarterback, and this year, like I said, we've got 8 guys back on offense and 9 back on defense. So that's obviously a great situation.
The Cardinals are loaded again. They have 4 of their starting offensive linemen back, and quarterback Brendan Sullivan, the senior who verbally committed to play in the Big Ten at Northwestern, threw for 33 touchdowns and more than 3,000 yards last year. Like his team, he believes he can get better.
little things, you know, not as many interceptions, you know, I threw a couple of those last year, just trying to grow as a leader more than anything.
Last year at this time, he was about 6'3", 180 pounds. Now he's 6'4", almost 220. A lot faster. His mechanics have improved a bunch. His arm strength has improved. Again, last year was his first year starting at quarterback, so he should improve immensely.
Sullivan and the Cardinals will face plenty of tough competition in the Saginaw Valley South, most notably from Lapeer, who beat Davison in the final game of the regular season to win the league title last year before the Cards won a rematch in the postseason on their way to Ford Field. Moving to the Saginaw Valley North, the title will go through Midland. Midland Dow and Midland High shared the championship last year and are always contenders.
This game comes down to blocking and tackling.
In the Tri-Valley Conference, you have to talk about Ithaca. Over the last decade, Coach Terry Hesbrook has led the Yellow Jackets to 7 appearances in the state finals with 5 state championships. Speaking of state champions, New Lothrop was unable to repeat in Division 7, coming up just 1 point short in the regional final against the eventual state champ Pewamo Westphalia. The Hornets will be back in the hunt, though. They've made the playoffs in 20 straight years and have only lost twice in the regular season in the last 10 years. Fenton is the favorite in the Flint Metro League, where the Tigers have won 8 of the last 9 league titles. They'll be challenged by a Kersley team that made the playoffs for the first time since 1999 last year and is led by dual threat quarterback Braylon Silvis, who combined for more than 2,800 yards throwing and running last year.
Did you record an unbelievable touchdown, a game-winning goal, or just a proud parent moment? Then we want your clip. Upload your video to the brand new State Champs Network app so we can feature it on one of our shows and give your player, team, and school the recognition they deserve. All it takes is just a few easy clicks, and every clip that is submitted will automatically be eligible for prizes. Download the State Champs Network app today for iPhone and Android devices. Welcome back inside the State Champs Sports Network studios. We are going to cover Southeast Michigan in 2 parts. Joining me first is, you know him well, Matt Mowry. Matt's going to be heavily involved with all of the football coverage we are going to have this season. And we have kind of chunked out between Matt and Scott Bernstein what's going to be happening in Southeast Michigan, at least a taste. And one thing we want to start off with right off the bat is probably the most powerful conference. At least that's the way it looks like it's shaping up, and that's the MAC.
Yeah, the MAC Reds specifically, and as Chip Valley coach Scotty Merchant said, it's going to be ridiculous this year. Any one of those teams could probably win it. You've got Grosse Pointe South, the 4-time MAC White champion, moving up to the Red Division to replace Anchor Bay. While they graduated one of the most successful classes in GPS history, they do have, everything is predicated on defense, and they have one of the best defensive players in the state in Will Johnson at corner. We've got Eisenhower returning 15 players from last year's 9-win team, including Western Michigan-bound Dalton DeWicki on the line. Romeo's got BYU commit Weston Jones and Cameron Joseph up front, paving the way for power back Brian St. Clair and Grand Valley commit Michael Heldman at defensive end. And then the favorite has got to be Chip Valley until someone knocks them off. They've got the Buffalo-bound Housey brothers. And then Dakota has got 3 Central Michigan commits at the skill position in Juice Stepney, Clinton Roberson, and Eric Reese, and a returning quarterback, which is always key in that league, in Zach Dorowski. And then there's Sterling Heights Stevenson, which was a 4-loss team going into the playoffs that made a run all the way to the semifinals and brought most of those key players back in Biagio Madonna at quarterback and Giovanni El Hadi, who passed up an opportunity to go play at IMG to come back and play with this Stevenson team. It's going to be loaded. Once we go to the Catholic League, you've got Orchard Lake St. Mary, which has got to be the favorite. Coming off its first 10-win season in 3 seasons, you've got probably the best specialist in the state in kicker-punter Tommy Doman and linebacker Jordan Cannon. The Shamrocks of Catholic Central have always been a smash-mouth team. Might look a little different this year because they've got ex-DePorus star Kevin Glenn of the CFL fame coming over from Oak Park to be the offensive coordinator, which should give Declan Bile and Sam Dursa, the pass-catching combination, quite a workout. And then you've got, obviously, Brother Rice is always right in there, Rocco Milia in the secondary leading them, kind of get over what was a kind of a end of the season slide last year that they'd like to forget. Then in the AA division, you've got a bunch of kids who are going high level in Elijah Rickard from U of D Jesuit and Michigan State commit Derek Harmon, who's in the trenches at Detroit Loyola. And then Divine Child has got a lot of talent, especially in the trenches in front of Vinny Booth, their quarterback, who's experienced. Go over to the KLAA, it's going to be a lot of the same suspects we see with Belleville battling it out with Dearborn Fordson in the East, although the rest of the division looks like it's quite improved from last year. Livonia Stevenson's got Caden Woodall, who's bound for Harvard at the running back position. Fortune's got lots of talent at the skill positions in Antonio Gates Jr., Travis Boston Jr., and on the lines in Kamari Landers and Fayez Al-Ziadi. Despite losing another talented class that helped them to a 34-3 record over the last 3 seasons and 2 straight semifinal appearances, Belleville's still loaded. They've got a quarterback in Christian Dew-Reed who never lost a regular season game in his 3 seasons as starter. You got Penn State-bound Jamari Budden at outside linebacker and Damon Payne along with a slew of others. Damon Payne's going to Alabama. And in the West, defending champ Plymouth graduated a bunch of players, a huge senior class last year, and they have a new coach this year. Brighton is reloading a little bit after making their first appearance in the title game, but they've got their next one in the line of quarterbacks that they just seem to pump out in John Orant. In the Southeastern Conference, obviously it's kind of the 2 leaders we've seen for the longest time. Saline's won 33 straight regular season games in the red division. They're led by junior quarterback Larry Robinson. Doesn't look like there's going to be a whole lot of drop-off there. In the white division, Chelsea's won 22 games over the last 2 seasons, making it to the finals and the semifinals. And it's predicated on their defense that returned 7 starters, including All-Stater Joe Taylor.
All right, lot to look forward to. Thank you very much, Matt. Scott Bernstein will be along to cover the rest of Southeast Michigan. Right now, we want to check out what is happening in some other parts of the state. Let's go to Lansing with my man, Ryan Slocum.
Like many schools around the country, the big story in the state's capital is what happened off the field. The Lansing School District has canceled fall sports due to the coronavirus pandemic, which means no football for Eastern, Everett, or Sexton. Lansing Catholic will take the field, and they'll do it as the reigning Division V state champs. But the Cougars will have a number of holes to fill, including quarterback, after losing 19 starters.
It's always difficult when you have somebody that's played quarterback and is gone because of our system. They have to do a lot of things. It's really quarterback oriented. And so that'll be, we'll find out if we can get that taken care of.
But the cupboard isn't bare. All-state receiver Alex Waters is back, as are a number of big physical linemen. They'll help set the stage early on.
Well, we have our starting D-line back, which I'm very excited for. I got me at nose guard and our 2 ends is Mason Knippen and Bo Poljan. And on the offensive line, I'm the smallest. We have about 6'2", 6'3" people.
And standing in Catholic's way will be Portland, which has won 5 straight CAAC white titles. East Lansing is expected to do some big things thanks to some of the biggest recruits in the area. EL is led by 3-star receiver Andrell Anthony, who will go blue after setting school records with 954 yards and 9 touchdowns as a junior. The Trojans also feature a 3-star lineman in Ethan Boyd, who will take his talents to Michigan State. East Lansing finished 7-3, part of a 3-way tie atop the CAAC Blue a year ago, along with Holt and DeWitt. The Panthers are coming off back-to-back trips to the Division III state semifinals and are ready to make another run with 7 starters back on offense and 8 returning on defense.
PW's football is special, that's what it is. There's nothing like it.
That is hard to argue. Guamo Westphalia won its 3rd Division VII state title in 4 years after finishing 14-0. And the Pirates are loaded again. Tanner Worth is back after rushing for over 1,600 yards with 25 touchdowns as a sophomore.
When he gets in his groove, I mean, you're not going to stop him, He sees the hole, he's hitting it, and he's gone.
Also gone are opponent scoring opportunities. BW allowed just 63 points a year ago on 9 shutouts, including a 14-0 win over Jackson Lumen Christi in the title game. And speaking of the Titans, they will be a force once again. Lumen Christi had won 3 straight Division VI titles before moving to D7 last year. Basil Hampton will carry the load. He takes over for Walker Flake, who ran for 2,400 yards a year ago.
High school football in the Upper Peninsula kicks off this Friday, and although things may look a little different in 2020, teams are excited to be back on the field. Here's what you can expect here in the UP this fall.
Let's begin our look at the UP football landscape with the Westpac Conference. The Iron Mountain Mountaineers will look to defend their conference championship. They will have to replace 11 starters from a team that fell just 1 game short of 4th field last season. They return a loaded backfield with Caleb Ivasovich-Hines and Bryce Pietrantonio. All UP first-team defensive tackle Caleb Berkland returns to anchor the Mountaineers' defense. The Negaunee Miners fought the injury bug last season, losing 6 two-way starters to season-ending injuries by week 4. But they still managed to finish last season with a winning record. Negaunee head coach Paul Jacobson said he was forced to play young players due to those injuries. But those players are back with more experience, and that should go a long way for the Miners. The Calumet Copper Kings played their way to a regional championship game last season. They return receiver Dean Locus, who finished the season with 869 yards and 5 touchdowns. He made the UP Dream Team as a returner. But they will need to replace all UP Dream Teamers Alex Studebaker, Trevor Tortola, and Nick Durf. We can't overlook teams like Westwood, West Iron County, Bark River Harris, and Lake Lynn Hubble, who all finished last season with winning records. The Ishpeming Hematites, who have been the most successful UP program in the last decade, will not be competing this year due to low numbers. The Marquette Redmen will be looking to defend their Great Northern Conference Championship crown this season. Quarterback Austin Riddle emerged in 2019 as a sophomore, showing a rare mix of confidence, poise, and playmaking ability. He said he's much more confident coming into this season and is looking to take the next step as a leader. Marquette's strengths lie in their skill positions on both sides of the ball. This team is all about speed. Senior receiver Ty Lauderman said, quote, "We're looking to make big plays, win games, and score." Escanaba has been a consistent winner under head coach Dave House. The Eskimos lose GNC Defensive Player of the Year Grant LaMarche, but return Kaylor Geyer, Riley Lamb, Ryan Randall, and Tyler Lawson on the defense. They'll have to replace quarterback Ethan Silverstone, but Dream Team receiver Bryant Mackey is back. He finished last season with 720 yards receiving and 7 touchdowns. In the 8-player league, everyone will be looking to knock off Pickford. The Panthers took home the Division II state title last season and should contend once again. The North Central Jets are ready to take flight and meet high expectations in 2020. The Jets lose big contributors in Leo and Noah Gorzinski and Cole Timlin, but welcome back sophomore Luke Gorzinski, who could be a Player of the Year candidate. The Jets will look to be a more balanced team on offense, but their brand has been to air it out, and that will continue this season.
Now it's time to switch gears to Northeast Michigan. Last season we had 5 teams that made it to the postseason, but with every team getting the chance to compete in the postseason this year, that means a lot of teams are now looking to make a bigger push in the playoffs. Let's kick things off with 11-man football. There is a very different look to this year's Wildcats team. 13 players graduated from last year's roster. Eric Mitchell is now in his 2nd year as head coach. This season, he's working with a young group of athletes who are competing for starting jobs.
Every year's a new team, and this year it seems like we have, rather than guys that we think might be starters, this is going to be a very, very, very competitive group that's fighting for playing time.
The Green and White had 3 returning starters on offense, including quarterback Ryan Voltz. The junior is looking to have a big season under center, but is expected to take more of a leadership role for this year's squad.
On my game, probably finding open receivers a little bit better and utilizing everyone, keeping everybody up positive.
He's going to make plays, and obviously he has gotten better. If you watch his week 8 and 9, you can see how much better he got throughout the course of the year. We're really looking for him to be a vocal leader for us this year.
The Escoda Owls are bringing back one of the toughest teams in not just the North Star League, but also in Class C. Last year, the Owls finished with an 8-2 record, falling in the first round of playoffs. There will be some big changes to the Owls offense, which includes the quarterback position, where former All-State wide receiver Owen Franklin will now be taking the snaps under center.
Going in the year, I'm just hoping to compete every game as well as we can, and just do everything we can to stay in games and come up with big wins when we need them.
Now switching gears to 8-man football after going 6-4 last season. The Vikings lost 10 seniors, including running back Tyler Hinska, who rushed for over 2,000 yards along with 25 touchdowns. But now, a new era begins.
And we had a lot more big players from last season to this season. And now we're a smaller team, but we got speed.
Head coach Greg Peach is looking for his returning players like Chase Doobie and AJ Brunette to help lead the charge for this young team.
Personally, I'm going to have to step up, be the big guy, and help our team out, tell them how to do it, and just help them out. But other than that, it's a team thing. Can't do it without anyone else.
Ever since the Hillman Tigers moved to 8-man football, they've been very successful on both sides of the ball, especially last year, where they won their first regional title in program history. The Black and Orange will be a little short on the roster size this year. They have 15 players, so it will be very important for this team to stay healthy throughout the fall.
We are short-numbered with 15, but 11 out of the 15 are upperclassmen, and most have experience.
One of those 11 veterans is junior Sean Hennigan, who is looking to step up his game to help the team out as much as possible.
He'll be playing, quarterback or wherever we need him to make a big play. He's really stepping up to the plate right now.
I'm Jake Vandenberg with the preview from Northeast Michigan.
Did you record an unbelievable touchdown, a game-winning goal, or just a proud parent moment? Then we want your clip. Upload your video to the brand new State Champs Network app so we can feature it on one of our shows and give your player, team, and school the recognition they deserve. All it takes is just a few easy clicks, and every clip that is submitted will automatically be eligible for prizes. Download the State Champs Network app today for iPhone and Android devices. All right, welcome back. Bernie is here. Scott Bernstein, he is going to tell us what else is happening as far as football goes in terms of a preview for Southeastern Michigan. And Matt started with the MAC. You want to start with the OAA.
Yeah, the OAA Red this year, it always is in the mix for best conference in the state. This year, I think they've got it by a landslide. Top to bottom, it is a gauntlet. West Bloomfield is going to be the favorite. They're the defending champs. Donovan Edwards, their running back, maybe the best tailback prospect in America right now. They got a great secondary led by Kentucky commit Maxwell Harrison at cornerback. Then you go over to Clarkston. You want to talk about damage in the trenches. You're talking about, blue chippers personified in Garrett Dellinger, the LSU commit. Rocco Spindler's going to Notre Dame. Mike DePillo, their junior gunslinger of a quarterback, in my opinion, might be the most underrated quarterback in the state right now. Definitely in the junior class. I think the Big 10 and Big 12 will be coming in on him soon. You got Oak Park coming up from the OAA White. They won the White last year. This year they're up in the Red, playing their first year in the Red since Greg Carter got to Oak Park 9 years ago. And, that's a blue chip factory as well. Rayshawn Benny up front, clearing the way for Michigan State commit Davion Prim. Southfield A&T, another team always there, always in contention because of the level of talent that they have in that program. Isaiah Marshall, a phenom quarterback, already had a bunch of Big Ten offers in the 8th grade. He's taken the reins this year. Should be a glorious 4 years for Zeke Marshall. It's going to be a battle between those 4 teams. And then you got Lake Orion and Oxford looking to play spoiler. With Oxford, you got Zach Line coming over from the NFL directly into a head coaching seat at his alma mater. And then you're moving, into the OAA White. You got another battle between Seaholm, Groves, North Farmington, Adams. Seaholm made a run to the Division II Final Four last year. They've got their quarterback, Caleb Norback, Caden DeWald up front. He's going to Central Michigan. And then Groves has Jaden Mangum, who's a real high riser in the recruiting circles as a wide receiver. Jack Woods taking over at quarterback, Ben Simmons on the line. Moving over to the PSL, it's kind of the same old story. King and Cass, just a lot of talent between those two teams. When you're talking about King, you're talking about just the phenom of all phenoms right now in Dante DJ Moore. The quarterback could be one of the best quarterbacks the city of Detroit has ever seen. As a freshman last year, threw for almost 3,000 yards and 33 touchdowns, took his team into the state finals. Up front, they got Brandon Honorable, who's going to Pitt. In the secondary, they got guys like Rashad Hentz, Jalen Reed is going to Penn State, and then DJ Smith. You go to Cass Tech, They've got a line group right now that maybe is the best that CT has ever seen. 5 guys that will all play Division I college football, led by Raheem Anderson, the Michigan commit. The King brothers, Kobe and Kalen King, they're going to Penn State. Kobe, the linebacker, Kalen, the cornerback, are both, supercharged playmakers. In the lower division, it's going to be Central and Denby. Central returns a team that won the B division last year with Elijah Granger at quarterback. He comes back, and then Denby made a run into the D5 Final Four last year. They got Brandon Grimes, the junior quarterback, who's coming back to lead that ship. Then we're moving over to the LVC. It should be all about Walled Lake Western right now. They're a high-octane offense led by Zach Trainer. In my opinion, pound for pound, best quarterback in the state, definitely best quarterback in the senior class, in my opinion. All due respect to Brandon Sullivan over at Davison. He's going to Eastern Illinois. Then you got Waterford Mott, the South Lyon schools, Lakeland, they'll all challenge. When you're talking about Mott, you're talking about Jack Bino coming over from Catholic Central to quarterback the Mott squad. Over at Lakeland, Michigan State commit Tate Farquhar is a Michigan State baseball commit. He's the quarterback at Lakeland. He's going to translate some of that diamond magic into RPO magic in the pocket. And then with the South Lyon schools, look for South Lyon East to be a team that could play sleeper, spoiler. Xander DeSense, very underrated quarterback. Aiden Oliver is an all-around, do-everything, who quarterbacked the team 2 years ago into the playoffs. Look for Dorian Armstrong, also have a big year out of the slot.
All right, thank you very much, Scott. I want to thank Matt Mowry. I want to thank everybody, all the reporters, all the producers, all the camera guys who contributed to this particular program. It's always wonderful when we get a chance to talk about high school football, especially when we didn't expect that we'd be talking about high school football until this spring. But here we are. We're looking forward to another great season. Make sure you watch State Champs Extra Point. Make sure you check out our State Champs Michigan show only. That's all the content we shoot in a week. We put that in one program just for the state of Michigan. And of course, our State Champs High School Sports Show still will be taking place. And our Scout Show. We got lots of programs, lots of content. Make sure you check it out. Just visit any of our social channels. Make sure you understand we're covering Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio this year on State Champs. So lots of great content, and make sure you go ahead and check out our website, statechampsnetwork.com, on a daily basis. You'll be able to vote for Mr. Football and everything there. And then please download our app. It's updated. We have a new Submit a Clip segment in which you can go and you can submit clips that we can put on our show. So it's going to be a wonderful fall 2020. We're looking forward to it. Please join us. We'll see you next time on all of our State Champs programs. State Champs Michigan's high school football preview show is presented by Lawrence Technological University and Lawrence Tech Athletics. For everything Lawrence Tech, visit ltu.edu. And you can recruit yourself to any of Lawrence Tech's 27 collegiate athletic teams by visiting ltuathletics.com. Also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Army National Guard, a proud partner of the MHSAA, and by Hungry Howie's, famous for flavor.